Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your latest football transfer news. What a week it's been, and it continues to be a very exciting time in the transfer world. Isak turning down a huge offer. We'll talk about that. Also, Simons to Chelsea. Looks like it's going to happen. Literally dropped in the last few minutes from Fabrizio Romano. We're still waiting official Gyökeres, but that's going to happen. It will probably happen tomorrow because Arsenal and Gyökeres on Sunday, they really seem to like. Newcastle moving on 2 strikers as well. We're 3 weeks out from the Premier League start, by the way, as well. I can't believe Premier League predictions and everything like that is kicking off. Can't wait. Excited. But let's get into the news. We'll start off with Liverpool. We'll start off with Isak. Luis Diaz as well. Newcastle obviously in on this as well, so we'll add their targets in at the end. But the interesting thing is that Alexander Isak has shut the door on any possibility of moving to Saudi. He's been offered £700,000 a week tax-free by Al Hilal, but has rejected it. This is coming in from The Guardian. So that Newcastle-Saudi connection that could have made them a lot of money, I mean, it just shows you that, yes, you can be having great links with Saudi and you could make a lot of money to get legitimate money into Newcastle, but player power still very much exists if you're good enough. And this is what Fabrizio Romano said yesterday, and this is what it is. Isak only wants Liverpool. That is the bottom line. And Newcastle, for all their connections with Saudi, like I say, and all the money there is at Saudi and all the money you can offer Isak, the reality is Isak is forcing the move from a Champions League club in the Premier League to the champions of the Premier League, and there's not really much Newcastle can do about it. You can say he's not for sale, which is what they have done. You can put, British transfer record fees against his name, but there becomes a point where you have to almost go, this player's unhappy, it's a problem, he wants to go, you've just got to cash out. And this has been the rhythm of football for decades. Player power ultimately drives deals. And what could Newcastle do? You could say you're not going anyway, you've got a contract. That becomes massively problematic. The fans of Newcastle know that. Isak knows that. The club are maybe depreciating in value. He maybe doesn't have a good season. It's a mature approach. You just take Liverpool for what you can get. And the question's going to be how much it is and how long it goes. It's incredible the amount of money Liverpool have spent as well. But can I just say this? I keep hearing people say, how are Liverpool going to afford it? Have you not realised the change of... We've been talking about it for weeks. Football has changed. There is huge money in being in the Champions League. Liverpool didn't spend any money last year as well. So let's say Liverpool had a budget of 200 million last summer for Arne Slot. They didn't spend it. So that 200 million literally rolls over. It's like the lottery. And then you've got another 300 million from this year because you've won the league and you've got into the Champions League. I mean, the revenue from winning the league is nearly 200 million. Then you've got the Champions League revenue from last year, which is another 100 million. You're going to get that again this year, plus all the money they make themselves. Liverpool can spend $500 million and, sit back and have a holiday. They can do it. It's incredible, but they can do it. And that's why success in football now is so important. So Liverpool can do this comfortably. But they're going to sell players. Bayern Munich are back in for Luis Diaz. They're going for him. Xavi Simons was a player that they were maybe looking at. He's going to Chelsea. So money's going to come in there. Darwin Núñez is going to bring money in as well. There may be, Kwanzaa brought some money in as well. So it's not just about purchases. They are going to make 100, 200 million in sales. Harvey Elliott's probably still going to go as well. Plus revenue. Liverpool are fine. Liverpool can spend $500 million this summer, bring in 200 million back, 300 million net spend, which you've covered off with your success without touching your merch or your ticket sales, or loans. So they're absolutely fine. Isak's going to end up at Liverpool, isn't he? Let's be honest. Eddie Howe has spoken about it and said he'd like him to stay, but there's no contract talks at the moment. I think that's an admission that he's going to go, and Eddie Howe will be gutted by that. But look, Liverpool, I would expect Luis Diaz to Bayern Munich imminently, Isak to Newcastle at some point, and then Newcastle, in fairness, need to make sure that they then respond. Like Wissa, Sesko are what they're looking at 2 strikers. They were always looking at 2 strikers. They wanted João Pedro to play with Isak. They wanted Delap to play with Isak. It's now going to probably be Wissa and Sesko, which still probably puts Newcastle in a better position than they were last year. Callum Wilson injury prone and Isak. look, Isak's better than Sesko, he's better than Wissa, but Wissa and Sesko, you've probably got more strength in depth up front. It's not the end of the world for Newcastle if they bring in decent players. I think Alanga strengthens them on the right-hand side. The worrying thing for Newcastle is that Man City are now looking at Livramento. So Newcastle's problem still is retaining players, but they could still be a strong team and they'll have a lot of money to spend. So watch Newcastle over the next few weeks. But Isak, Liverpool, I certainly expect to happen. As I said, in the last few minutes, we have had a story sort of coming out from Fabrizio about Xavi Simons, who I'd completely forgotten. But he says, understand Chelsea and Leipzig are now in advanced talks for Xavi Simons. Negotiations club to club progressing well. Still work to do, but heading in the right direction. Keen on the Chelsea project with personal terms. Talks also advanced. So, yeah, I mean, how many attackers have Chelsea got? Probably got more attackers than the, Switzerland national team. And I mean, like, the whole of Switzerland. It's an incredible array of talent that they've brought in. Estevao, Gittins, obviously Pedro's sort of an attacking talent, isn't he? Xavi Simons, they've already got Neto, Cole Palmer. It's an incredible roster, I suppose, to steal an American term, being as they've got Todd Bowley. And you wonder if it stops there. I mean, Garnacho, I was talking about it on the United Stand this morning, he wants Chelsea, but does that slam the door on that? I don't know, probably. I mean, how can you justify another attacking midfielder at Chelsea? But yeah, another bit of business from Chelsea. Man City don't look like they've finished. Don't mention the 115. I've got absolutely no idea. I know we spoke about it a few weeks ago, a few months ago. I think some people thought with the Club World Cup finishing, the Premier League might, announce something. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I mean, I do speak to a lot of journalists. I do speak to a lot of people in the industry. Nobody knows anything. They don't even know. I mean, some people are saying, have the Premier League messed it up? And they're just trying to find a way for people to ignore it. Some people are saying, there will be some sort of punishment. It just might not be. I mean, I don't know. Part of me is just like, why did they bother? If they didn't have a strong case, why did they bother? But, I don't know. I don't know. But Man City are looking at Livramento. They've just bought Trafford as well. So, Man City are not hampered by whatever clouds hanging over them. Maybe it's the sun. Maybe it's put the sun cream on and chill. They are being very active in the window, as are Arsenal, as are Chelsea, as are Liverpool. And I just think that the Premier League has changed, football has changed, but you look at that. You look at Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Liverpool, and you look at the strength, and you go, "What Premier League are we about to see?" I mean, are they just going to obliterate everybody apart from each other? And how will they match up against each other? I mean, I was looking at this the other day, and when you look at the Premier League fixtures for August, obviously Arsenal play Manchester United on the Sunday, but searching out the first sort of big game, and I think I'm right in saying that Liverpool-Arsenal on Sunday the 31st of August is the first big game where that top four sort of play each other. That's the third game week at Anfield. I mean, just think of the transfers that they've already made and that game right before an international break. It's just incredible. And I think when you look at Man City and Chelsea's start to the season, they could really, make hay potentially, while Arsenal and Liverpool have a bit more of a difficult start to the season. But very, very, very interesting and somewhat exciting, even I would say, the volume of transfers that have been done. Anyway, get your comments in below. Are you happy with what your team's doing, by the way? I mean, I still think Newcastle can have a good window. Spurs has been a bit quiet. Villa has been really quiet. There doesn't seem to me to be much of a response from the clubs outside the top four. Is it a bit of a white flag, we can't compete? We didn't see that last year, but this year, it just feels like clubs are sort of like going, we can't compete. Get your comments in below. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe, and I'll speak to you on the next one.